Hi, this is Janet, and I was feeling inspired to share some of my thoughts about my personal healing journey or healing in general, and the fears, maybe the worst fear that comes with the idea of healing. And yeah, I kind of felt an extreme sense of fear while having the spiritual awakening. And during my Kundalini awakening, yeah, I was just facing my worst fears. And wow, cool that I reached the next one. We love that. Okay. In my case, it was this extreme sense of fear, as I said, that came with the Kundalini awakening. There was like actually visualizing your worst fears physically. That's how I could imagine that. Yeah, that was like literally seeing my fears I didn't know existed. And I have, like, I can't even tell how many days, like for at least one or more than 1 week, it like lasted in that extreme way, which was I was basically paralyzed, kind of. That was this fear inside. And I was going to my job, I was going to work and all of this. And after I got back home, it started like, and I have got this extreme fear of darkness, which is pretty much unusual for me because I live like most of my life, especially last 10 years, most of these years I have been alone and like literally by myself most of the time. And it was like unusual, like very much unusual for me, that I was like, definitely as a child I used to have fear of darkness, but I have worked on, and there is like I am an adult now and all of these years I have some stages when I used to have fear of darkness and all, but that was like I couldn't even explain that, how I felt, that sense, that extreme sense of fear. You cannot put that into words. That is like not even given. However, yeah, why is it so important facing your fears? It is I don't know how to start at all, because I have so many thoughts all at the same time, which ADHD people have usually all at once or nothing, like brain fog. You have all everything everywhere all at once or nothing. Cool. Anyways. Ooh, okay. Now, this is very important to understand. I personally feel like it is well, okay, I will try it again. Why is it important to understand Gosh, I can't even take this thing seriously. Okay, we'll take our time. You could imagine it that way, that you are actually, you know, kind of sleeping on your highest potentials. And when you kind of started with the healing work, or in general shadow works, and you have done something, you know, some of the works, that's when you like start to kind of face your fears, or the universe challenges you with, you know, taking the next step, which is like feels with God. What is this? Okay, which feels like, you know, like you never could do that, or at the same time you have this inner knowing, yeah, this is why you came for, and this is who you're meant to be, and it is all very much connected, like, and very, you know, this opposite force is always there. So very interesting to, you know, observe. Observe yourself in this process. And it's most likely when it is for you the right time to, you know, to grow, to go to the next chapter, to go to the next level. That's when you like, you start to get this challenge. And now the one thing is resisting, that comes with our programming, like the internal programming, which is like, you know, coping mechanism we like, or our system already like automatically built to, you know, make us survive, because we didn't know how to survive otherwise. So that comes like automatically with it. So it is very much important for you to be aware of your own, you know, system, how that works, or when you start to kind of skip things, when that keeps you stuck in, you know, in a certain stage of life. And for me, it was like, I feel like I have done like all of my life a lot of integration works, and I used to have this a lot of psychological issues, you know, like depression, PTSD, and anxiety, and ADHD, anyways, undiagnosed. So yeah, and the thing with me was like, I was forced to feel these things like for years. I can't even tell like since when. I guess literally more than a decade by now, that I was like most of my life, or all my life, on my survival, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I tried like multiple times seeing a doctor, and, you know, getting medications and all of this, which never worked for me. So that was on purpose, but I didn't know that, you know, I was like, what is this, what is this, like, what is this life? And life itself never made sense to me. And I was like, what the hell am I doing here? And I never really felt belong to, you know, belong to this life, or somewhere like in my family, or in my own country, in my hometown. And also the fact the family was like also this always this critical thing for me. And I didn't have any friends, because my mother didn't want me to have friends because she had to control everything about my life, and that shaped a lot of my, you know, character and my life. And I was doing all these integration works or these internal works for like last so many years. And as I said, like I used to have so many issues, and I could never take medications which could have helped me, you know. It never worked for me because I tried something and I was like, it felt like crazy because it never worked, and I used to have so many side effects on it, and I felt most of the time like it felt like it is just not for me. It's just not the natural, you know. And I was wondering, everyone I know, like most of the people that deals with depressions or in general anxiety or whatnot, they are fine with taking medication and all of these things, but I just can't. It is just so out of my nature, the way it make me feel. So I gave up every time. So I guess I try at least 3 to 4 times in my whole life. With the long pause, you can imagine I'm 35 now, so it never worked. So anyways, and that is the reason I was forced to feel, you know, my deepest, hard to say actually what these things was. This is like feeling darkness and not knowing where it is coming from, and which was coming from somewhere I have had no clue about. And I was wondering all the time that I am actually not a person that has, you know, so many shadows. It feels so weird to say something like this. Definitely we all have our shadows and ego and all of that comes with our nature, definitely, right? But I wasn't definitely aware of the fact that our vessel carries traumas of not only from one lifetime that you are in, and this is why everything, all this darkness I was feeling, that didn't make sense. And yeah, the point I wanted to come back was, in my case, it's like I was doing so much internal work, but still, you know, holding on to so much, which is like this whole package of the generational ancestral trauma or whatever you wanna call it. And it was like I was doing it in some way. Sometimes it was like very bold and, you know, going against the whole programming that exists, the traditional way, or thinking out of the box. And sometimes I was just you know, unconsciously like holding on things I wasn't aware of. And that was actually my motivation today, to make you aware of that so that you actually can understand the subconscious programming you're running and which is not an easy journey. And this is why it is very important that you listen to your body. And every time you'll see, you just start to understand more and more, and more of yourself, and you discover a little bit more of you, and which is the whole point is about. And this is why we came here to come back to the natural state, which you cannot be with when you are running someone else's programming, you know. And yeah, and the healing itself, is it a fun journey? No, it is not. It is absolutely not a fun journey. But you need to understand you are worth doing that, still doing that, because you're an individual being that in this form, in this way that you are in this planet, you will, you know, this state of being, that this individual unique being that you are, or this expression of God, of the universe itself, you will never have the chance again to experience yourself in this way, in this physical vessel, in this, you know, with all that is. And it is so worth exploring. Why wouldn't you do that? It is, everything is for you, and you are your first priority. And this is the reason you should do that for yourself. And by doing so, you will know why you should keep going, because every single step, every single pain, every single suffering that you ever experienced, it's like puzzles, and everything just falls together. Definitely today, in 2 hours or in half an hour, I might face the next duality thing. You know, and if I just, you know, have the next day and feeling lost or depressed, and I just stop observing my thoughts, and I just create with the next thought I'm receiving or I'm broadcasting and I'm not, you know, aware of, I might face the next duality again. But it is still worth it, and it is fun. Exploring yourself is fun, and facing your worst fear is fun, because you just know why you are in this process, and why universe challenged you to level up. And yeah, you will see, it just makes sense, and everything you have been wondering makes sense. And I guess I just forgot what I wanted to say. Cool, we love that. Yeah, it's not a linear process, healing itself. It's like a lot of, you know, spiral motion or circular motions, and sometimes going backwards and get back on track again, and having trust in yourself, and know that if the universe is challenging you, you are ready for it, and you just need to see yourself from a higher perspective, and that's what I believe the creator wants us to be, and to see ourselves or every situations in life, to see them from a higher perspective, because we are literally, all of us, every single individual being is a fraction of God, of the creator. So yeah, we are so much more capable of doing or seeing things from a higher perspective, which, why shouldn't we do that? Like, why shouldn't we do that? Absolutely, you should go for it. And next time the universe challenges you to go out of your comfort zone, say, I accept the challenge with grace, and I'm going to face my fears and explore my higher self by embodying my higher self. And yeah, it is so much fun. It is not fun, but fun. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say it better, better way. But I guess for now we're done with having enough brain fogs and talking and sharing our thoughts. Yeah. Have a great day. Bye.